For over 75 years, Ferrari has built its legacy on roaring engines, breakneck speeds, and an unmistakable sound that sends chills down your spine. But what happens when that iconic sound goes silent? Ferrari is making a bold bet going electric. And it's not just about building an EV, it's about rewriting the rules of luxury, performance, and brand loyalty. This is Ferrari's moment to prove that the future doesn't mean sacrificing soul. But is this a stroke of genius, or a disaster waiting to happen? Is this the dawn of a new era, or the beginning of the end for one of the most legendary brands in automotive history? Chapter 1. The Ferrari Dilemma. Evolution or betrayal? Enzo Ferrari built this company with the simple belief: I build engines, and the car is simply there to carry them. To Ferrari, the heart of every car wasn't the design, the aerodynamics, or even the luxury, it was the engine. It was the symphony of pistons firing, the feeling of raw mechanical power under the hood. But in 2025, for the first time in history, Ferrari will launch a car with no engine. A $535,000 electric Ferrari. No V12. No growling exhaust. Just silence. The question is, will Ferrari's elite clientele accept this? Or will this move kill everything Ferrari stands for? Because Ferrari isn't just a brand, it's a religion. And its followers aren't just customers, they're believers. Some argue this is an evolution, a necessary step forward in a changing world, that Ferrari, like any great innovator, must adapt or die. But others see this as the ultimate betrayal, a dilution of everything Ferrari has ever represented. After all, can a Ferrari still be a Ferrari without the sound? And it's not just about emotion, it's about resale value, exclusivity, and the prestige of owning a piece of automotive history. Many buyers see Ferraris as investments, appreciating assets that grow in value over time. But if electric Ferraris lack the historical significance and the emotional appeal of their gasoline-powered predecessors, could that drive collectors and high-net-worth individuals away? Could this be the first Ferrari that loses its luster over time, rather than becoming an icon? Chapter 2. Why Ferrari is really doing this. Let's be real. Ferrari isn't making an EV because it's worried about the environment. This is business. Ferrari is one of the most exclusive car brands on the planet, and that exclusivity is what makes it a money-printing machine. Despite making fewer cars than companies like Porsche or Tesla, Ferrari's profit margins are insane, over 27% per car sold. That's higher than Apple. Every Ferrari is built to be rare, ensuring demand always outweighs supply. And that strategy has kept its brand value soaring year after year. But Ferrari isn't just thinking about today, they're thinking about the future. Emissions regulations are tightening worldwide. Governments are pushing towards electric vehicles. And if Ferrari wants to remain at the top, it can't afford to be left behind. This EV isn't just about compliance. It's about proving that Ferrari can redefine what high-performance electric driving looks like. But here's the catch. Ferrari's loyal customers aren't just looking for performance, they want emotion. And an electric motor, no matter how powerful, doesn't have the same visceral appeal as a screaming V12. So Ferrari isn't just designing an EV, it's engineering an experience. Patents suggest they're developing sound systems to replicate engine noise, simulated vibrations to mimic the feeling of acceleration, even an artificial gear-shifting mechanism to convince you that an electric Ferrari still has a soul. This also ties into Ferrari's long-term strategy. Unlike mass-market brands that focus on scaling EV production, Ferrari is keeping its exclusivity intact. Its first electric car will be hand-built, low in production numbers, and aimed at a select few who can afford to own a piece of the future. Ferrari isn't chasing volume, it's maintaining prestige, while adapting to a world that is forcing even the most stubborn brands to change. Chapter 3. The Business Wars. Ferrari versus Tesla versus Porsche versus China. But here's where things get really interesting. Ferrari isn't just competing with Lamborghini and McLaren anymore. It's stepping into the ring with EV giants Tesla, Porsche, and a rising Chinese electric empire. China is the world's largest EV market, and Ferrari knows it has to impress wealthy Chinese buyers if it wants to dominate this new era. The ultra-rich in China are younger, tech-savvy, and obsessed with innovation. Traditional luxury isn't enough anymore. They want cutting-edge technology, instant torque, and a futuristic driving experience. If Ferrari's EV doesn't meet those expectations, Chinese consumers might look elsewhere, perhaps to brands like NIO or BYD, which are already making waves in the high-end electric space. And let's not forget politics. Manufacturing Ferraris in Italy is part of the brand's identity. But will tariffs, supply chain issues, or even AI-driven car manufacturing force Ferrari to adapt? If the cost of making cars in Italy skyrockets, will Ferrari be forced to outsource production? Could we see a future where a Ferrari is not made in Maranello? Then, there's Tesla. Love it or hate it, Tesla has redefined what electric performance means. The Tesla Model S Plaid already beats almost every Ferrari in acceleration. So, what happens when Tesla, or another EV brand, decides to target Ferrari's luxury market? If Ferrari's first EV doesn't deliver a mind-blowing driving experience, it could open the door for new competitors to steal Ferrari's crown. Even Porsche, Ferrari's longtime rival, is pushing forward aggressively in the electric space. The Taycan proved that electric luxury performance cars can be thrilling. And now, with Porsche developing even more advanced electric hypercars, Ferrari's challenge is greater than ever. If its EV isn't an instant masterpiece, it risks losing ground in an industry where reputation is everything. Chapter 4. What this means for the future of cars. Ferrari's move isn't just about one car, it's about the future of all luxury automakers. If Ferrari can make an EV that excites traditional car lovers, expect Lamborghini, Aston Martin, and Bugatti to follow. The industry is watching closely. If Ferrari proves that an electric supercar can still be thrilling, it could accelerate the shift to high-performance EVs across the board. But if Ferrari gets this wrong, if their first EV feels soulless, it could shatter their legendary status and send shockwaves through the entire industry. Because if Ferrari, a company that has built its entire legacy on emotion, sound, and mechanical purity, fails to create an electric car that excites, then what does that mean for the future of driving itself? And that brings us to the real question: what do you think? Is Ferrari's electric revolution a bold new frontier? Or is this a mistake? Would you ever buy an electric Ferrari? Or do you think a Ferrari without an engine is just another car?